Good afternoon, Michael Bird again for WordWrite Web, video number 8 in our series. I say this is an endless series. We don't know when we're going to end or this is going to morph, but pretty much indefinitely we think the internet's going to continue to change and grow, and we're going to need to be smart about it. I'm going to do a little brief story fireside chat to try to set you up for the way we approach it here and the way I approach things in general. And since I'm on the profession of law and attorneys, and the fact that we happen to work with a lot of attorneys, I'm going to give you a story about when I was a young journalist and I went to speak with the attorney for the newspaper. I was trying to get an understanding of a particular law. It was libel law in this case, and what we could say and what we couldn't say about the subject of a news story. And the attorney, I was right out of college. It was a weekly newspaper, and the attorney was a very nice gentleman, wore a suit, and sat down with me, took time with me, and he pulled out a legal pad. And I end up pulling out a legal pad a lot. So we were talking about this particular situation, and he says, all right, well, let's look at the law right here. And he went to paragraph or a couple paragraphs in the law. Let's read that first sentence. And we just walked me through it. Now, obviously, I was a journalism major, and I could read and write English, and what he was really showing me here was that just because he's a lawyer, and I'm not a lawyer, doesn't mean you can't understand something. So just because you're not a digital marketing person, or you're not a geek, or you're not a computer head, or you barely use the computer and you're intimidated by your phone and all that, doesn't mean you can't understand these things. You learn it conceptually and trust your own mind. That's what I really wanted to say there, because we're going to get into some areas where you're going to trust your own mind. That's really my point of today's video. So let's jump into it. I'm going to get over here and see if we can record the screen. We're going to do the picture-in-picture just like we did last time. And here we go. Let's see if we can get there without as much slowing down and whatnot. All right, here we are. Now, we scanned the 10 last time when we talked about the number of directories on the page versus the number of actual competitors. And let's assume you are a law firm and you've done a search like I asked in your own marketplace as though you were a prospect. And you see in this 10 here how many of the results are directories like this one, findlaw.com or avo.com or justia.com, or whether the result is a law firm. And we know, we can go count them, but you'll see this for yourself. There are 10. There are always 10 in the organic search results. How many of these are law firms? And what I want to ask you to do here is just take a little logic. Here's a list of 10. I'm a person that got a speeding ticket, and I need a lawyer. And I went to Google, which is what most people do around the world today. That is just the nature of reality and the internet. They go to Google, okay? I got 10 results here. 4 or 5 or 6 of them are attorneys, and others of them are directories. Now, you understand that the directories that are here require another click. The directories are competing with each other. I'm looking for a lawyer. I'm not looking for a director. I'm not looking for another list. I got a list. I got a list of 5 lawyers right here. Or I could go and look at another list. Now, maybe I'm going to be one of those people that's going to click another list. But I just want you to do the math here and just see that, hypothetically, let's say 10 results, they each have a 1 in 10 shot of getting clicked. That's probably not true, but let's just say 1 in 10 shot. Each one of these directories, each one of them is a subset of this list, which means that if you aren't this attorney right here, Deaver Law Firm, or Girdwood Williams, or the one below it, or the one below that, if you aren't one of these 4 or 5 or 6 attorneys up here, then you have to hope that when somebody clicks one of these directories, they're going to click you. And you know what they're going to get? They're going to get another list. So the math is not working in your favor. 1 out of 10 shot right here. If you go to another directory, you've only got a 1 out of 10 shot, and I can just tell you, I'm gonna go to one of these directories at the end of this video. They actually list more than 10. They list 20. So now you've already taken only 1/10 of that pool of people that's looking for a lawyer, a speeding ticket lawyer. You've only taken 10% of them, 1/10 of the number that have clicked. Now they're on the page where you live, because you weren't on this page. You're in the directory page. I know that's a roundabout way of saying it. I probably could be cleaner. You're in a subset. You're in a smaller pond. And you're still up against 19 other competitors. The point of all this is to say, one of the problems with directories, one of the things that they all fight against is the fact that Google has the market. You want to win in directory number 1, which is Google. There are some other problems with directories. I'm going to go into that in video number 2. But the math right at the outset is not in your favor. Now, usually, when a directory is selling itself, they'll tell you all the great features of the directories, and they'll give you the statistics from all the people that clicked on that directory. But before they ever get there, there's a much bigger number that got to Google first. I can assure you, nobody who gets a speeding ticket says, well, let me go to findlaw.com. Never heard of it. Never heard of it. All right, so we're going to click on this directory. I'm just going to show you what you see. All right, here you are. Let's hope you're in this batch of 20. It's a pile of them. So you could be. Somebody could click you. Somebody could find you here. Could happen. We're going to look at that later. All right, so that's what I want you to do. I want you to go to that 10. I want you to click on the first. First, I want you to see whether you're in the first page of Google for whatever you search for. And then I want you to click on the first directory and just have a look. We're going to talk more about that in the next video. Thank you. Michael Bird with WordWrite Web.